Hi guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today is one of my most requested videos ever, and I'm so excited to bring it to you guys. We're going to be talking all about organizing our lives. I'm absolutely not claiming to be an expert in the slightest. I have very minimal knowledge of this subject, but a lot of you guys request this video, and I figured that if I could help even one person and just show you a different way to do things than what you normally do, maybe that could be kind of helpful. I don't really know. So if you're new to my channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button and follow me on all my socials and stuff. I'm always posting pictures of like my planner and stuff. I feel like that's what inspires this, is people are like, oh, like it looks so cute, and like how do you make it all pretty and stuff. And honestly, I'm not very much of like a handwriting person. My handwriting is absolute trash. I've been switching to doing things more digitally, but this is kind of how I manage it all. And I have phases where I'm really good with it, and then I have phases where I'm really bad with it. I'm a senior in college, so I'm trying to like get on my grind and be like really good at it. So this is kind of what I've been doing as of lately, and honestly it's working pretty well. So we'll start off with being a student, a full-time student, part-time student, whatever. With being a student, the thing that's really nice about that is that you do have somewhat of a structured schedule, in the sense that you know when your classes are, even if you have them online. Luckily, the teachers will start off the semester off and give you a syllabus or like a handout that outlines everything that you have upcoming in the semester, including due dates and test dates and stuff like that. So I guess we'll start off with digital and then I'll go to physical. I use a day designer planner. This is like my physical one, but this is more what I use for like day-to-day like to-do lists, or if it's like, hey, like don't forget, like pick this up at the store or something, I would just like quickly write it in here. But if it's more like a event-based thing, time structured, I put it all in my iCal on my Mac computer that I use, but it syncs up with my phone because I have an iPhone, and it's really great in that sense, and it syncs up with my watch. I'm a big like, it all syncs up. So basically what I do in the beginning of the semester is I go in and plug in first of all, I do all my class times, all the times that I have class. So if I have a 1:25 to whatever 2:15 class, I'm plugging it in and I set it that it's like it repeats every day at that time for the rest of the semester, so that I don't have to keep plugging it in. It's really nice and easy. I'm gonna do some overlays of how I do that here, just to help you guys. First, set the times to do class, because that's obviously gonna be your biggest priority if you are a full-time student. You wanna go to class. I definitely recommend going to class. I definitely skip a good bit, but I think it's important to have it like blocked in your calendar as if you are going, unless something more important comes up. Next, I go through all my syllabi of my classes and I plug those dates all in. So that is anytime that I have a test, anytime that I have an assignment due, anytime that like I have a group meeting or whatever I have available, I plug in. I usually set those as all day events too. Like if I have a test, I'm not just blocking it in for that time. I set it as an all day event because a test is obviously really important. So it's going to be something on the day that I'm going to want to be like aware of in the weeks in advance. You know what I mean? That to me constitutes an all-day event. I'm listening to this book on Audible. This is not sponsored. I wish it was. I do have a code that gets you like some money off, but anyways, I am listening to this book called Getting Things Done, The Art of Stress-Free Productivity, and I'm not done with it, but I've already gathered like the main principles, and this is something that I already did, but they reiterated in the book that if it's something that's like an important event, like put it on the day. Don't put it on just the hour. Like make it like, oh, this is a day-long event. If you have like something due, if you have like rent money due, or anything like that's a bigger task that doesn't necessarily have one specific time slot. Because like if I have a test that day, yeah, like I need to take my test at 1 o'clock, but I need to study for it before, and I need to plan for it in the days in advance. So it definitely deserves to be like on the day. So anything big, rent money due, you need to pay someone for something, or you have a presentation, or I can't even think of other things, but like big things go on the day. Next, I go in and plug in all of my recurring meetings and events. So I have chapter for my sorority every Monday at 5 o'clock, 5:30 if you want to get technical, but whatever. I plug it in, and then you can set it as a reoccurring event so that it like reminds you every week. This is just like all still like setting up your calendar, because then like the good thing is when you put in everything that you have and you know that you have in advance, you get to see all the free time you have. So we're getting to that. So put it all in. You can do this all, you do not have to do this all digitally. I find that it's easier and it's nice because like I can be sitting in class on my computer and just pull up my calendar, but then you could also pull out your physical planner. Like I did it on my physical planner for years, but I'm just switching to doing it digitally because I just feel like it's more efficient. Things move around in my life too often, and I was just doing too much crossing out. So this is just more efficient. So if you have like a weekly meeting, you know, whatever, go ahead, plug that in, set it as a recurring event, bi-weekly or monthly, whatever it is, put it all in there, because usually you get those dates in the beginning of the semester, or you could just like kind of feel it out. Like I know I have a club meeting on Tuesday nights. So like now that everything's in there, the thing that's really cool about this is that you get to see all of the free time that you have. So you can kind of scroll through and see, like, I feel like people, the biggest excuse that people make for things is like, oh, I didn't have time. And I make that excuse too. Everyone does. But you do have a lot of time in the day, and you can definitely visibly see that with like the blank spaces now. Something that I'm learning recently is that you could always make time for something if it's important to you. So like for a while I wasn't working out because I was like, it's just not like, it wasn't a priority in my life. And recently I kind of got back into fitness, and I've been going to Orange Theory, not that much, only like 2 or 3 times a week, but still I know that I have time for it in my life. And like I know where I can schedule it in. Like if my classes end at 1:45, I can take a 2:30 class. It's all about making it work. Some days I wake up earlier and I do my workout first, you know what I mean? I hate being like, you have to figure out your priorities, but like you do. So like if school's really important to you, then you need to factor in extra time for studying and stuff like that. For me, like obviously I do YouTube and a podcast and all that stuff, which takes up a lot of my week. So I try to like factor that in. So essentially this is like a time blocking system, just because I like will section things off. I'll be like, okay, I'm in class from this time to this time, then I'm gonna come home and like do like work on my project, then I'm gonna like film a video and then like go work out or whatever. So it is kind of like a time blocking system, but I do it in my own refined way. I talked about this in my study routine, which I'm not sure if it's up yet, but it should be going up soon. And I say that like you just need to make like a game plan of like whenever you're sitting down to like do work or whatever, like whenever I'm working up at a coffee shop or something and I'm like, oh, I have all these tasks to do. Like I have to write a paper, I have to like work on a little bit of a group project and study for a test, get really detailed about all of those tasks, write them all out. And that's where I guess like the physical planner could come into play, because then you could like really adequately plan and get like super detailed. And that's like the book that I'm reading kind of touches on that. I've been really liking listening to audiobooks about like just getting your life together and getting organized and stuff. It's very motivating and inspiring. I'll leave some of my favorite books down below because I feel like that's fun that we could like share. And I like hearing the different ways that people like organize and like live their life and do their organizational systems and stuff, because it definitely is different for everyone. So now for more of like the physical planner, I have the Day Designer Mini Edition, and I could just kind of show you guys like what I definitely write it in the months. This is a really big thing for me because I like to just be able to flip, and if someone says like, hey, like 14th, what are you doing? I see on this day, like I have nothing big. So I have nothing like on the day. Let's see if that's actually true. Oh yeah, it is true. Yeah, I'm looking at my calendar on here too. So that is true. It's hard to kind of manage 2 calendars. I noticed it's hard to do 2 written calendars, but doing one digitally and one physically is definitely manageable. You guys can definitely do it. I feel like this system can apply for even if you're not a student, like even if you work a 9-to-5 job, put it in every day, and then you see all of the rest of the hours you have in the day and you can work around that. I'm not really too into like stickers and highlighting and stuff. I was like into that at a point, but then I kind of like fell out of it. This is what my calendar looked like when I had a job. I wrote like some video ideas up here. I probably didn't do them all because I'm sometimes really bad at that. But I actually wrote in the days when I did Orange Theory. I would like write it on my schedule. I cross off the days as I go because it like keeps me, I don't know, I like checking something off. So even if I could just check off the day, that helps. I use Post-its for when it's like a little to-do list sort of deal, and I plug it in my planner. I also have some stickers on the back. I like the aspect of using a physical planner. It's just like I said, like my life changes so often that I like doing it digitally. I also have been into doing like events and adding people to them. So when I do my podcast with Danielle, by the way, we have a podcast. If you don't listen to it, you totally should. It's called Gals on the Go, but regardless. So like say it's a Tuesday now, so like we might be like, oh hey, like let's podcast on Monday. I make a cal invite and I invite her to it too, so it goes on her cal. It's kind of nice doing it this way. It just kind of organizes everything in one place and puts all the thoughts in your head on here too. I do utilize the Apple reminders sometimes too, like if it's something that's less of like a calendar invite and more time sensitive, like if I want to remind myself to self-tan later this evening or something, then I would set a time reminder and be like at 7 p.m. remind me to self-tan. I've really been liking to switching over doing this digital approach, and I feel like it makes me realize how much more time I have in the day. And my biggest excuse used to be like, I can't work out because like I have class and then I come home and I'm tired or whatnot. But then you work out first, like you make it work, you put it into your schedule. And I don't even maximize my days as much as I possibly can, just because that's not really me. I'm an efficient worker and stuff like that, but at the same time, I'm not like super crazy. But I do like to make it work in any way that I can. I know people who have a job, so then they would like plug in their job in here. Obviously with YouTube, it's a little less concrete, so that's why it's, but yeah, I just use like a digital organization system. Okay, also I don't color code per se, but I do assign a color to everything just so that in my online like looking at this, everything comes up in different colors. So I have like school would be red, YouTube / anything that's related to YouTube, so the podcast and all of that would fall under there, is yellow, extracurricular is blue, health is purple, KD is green, and then I made a new category for like trying to get a career, like trying to get a job, which is like a brighter purple. It's really cool to do it this way too, because you can kind of see how much time you're allocating to different parts of your life. Like I can visibly see from this that like I probably am not allocating enough time to working out this week. So like I need to like be more conscious about like just health and stuff, because like I try to live my life in like a balance. I see that like it's a heavy school week coming up, so like I want to make sure that like I leave my evenings free so that I like can detox and like watch Netflix and stuff. Color coding in that sense does help. So I guess like doing the color coding in a planner could be cool, because it could like keep everything together. But it's just a lot of work to color code in a planner, because you're always changing. Like things always come up. I just feel like as a college student, sometimes with other tasks besides like just like due dates in school, other things kind of come and go, so it's easier to do it digitally just because things change so much. But like I said, I did the physical thing for 3 years or whatever, and I just have to say I would highly recommend the Day Designer Planner. Like I really like it. This is the mini one. I had the large, switched to the mini one this year. I had the large the past 2 years of the Day Designer, and I really like the mini one. So if you're looking for a great planner, this is definitely it. It has on the day, it has today's top 3, do, dollars, dinner, don't forget, and then a full long to-do list, and you can also write in your schedule with the time slots. So with that being said, I hope you guys gained some sort of knowledge from this video. My life is not perfect by means. That's why I didn't do this video for so long, because I was like, I don't understand how I can tell people like organize their life when I sometimes skip class. Or like, honestly, if you learned anything from this video, just learn that there is time in the day for whatever you want there to be time for. You can make time, and time exists. You just have to kind of like work around it, and sometimes you might have to say no to going out with your friends or something to put your health first or whatever, but you can make time for all of it. And I think that I do a decent job, not the best, but a decent job of doing a lot of different things. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you're new, subscribe. I'm gonna go to Trader Joe's now because I put that in my cal, so gotta go. Thanks guys.